Welcome to Changemaker's Corner, powered by Fuel, an interview series spotlighting different grassroots leaders, social impact innovators, and young changemakers across Toronto and the GTA. At Changemaker's Corner, we pull back the curtain of changemaking work, shine a light on the realities of the social impact sector, and reimagine a better future for meaningful and authentic change in our communities. Learn more about Fuel at fuelchange.org and on social media at Fueling Changemakers. Thank you so much for tuning into Changemaker's Corner and welcoming our very awesome, esteemed guest, a member of the Youth Advisory Committee, the ED and creator of Planted Opportunities, and just the awesome Shreya. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I have done a few interviews today and I've talked a lot today, so I'm looking forward to going home and not saying anything and having my partner do all the talking, which will happen later. But for now, welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. A little overwhelmed, but I'm good.
Overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Me too, kind of. Okay. I don't know. Let me know if there's anything I can do to support you in being overwhelmed. But we are really here just having a conversation about you, about your journey. And I guess let's just get right into it. Tell me a little bit about your change-making journey. What are you doing? I know you do so many different things. So a couple of things that come off the top of your head, but also I really do want to hear about Planted Opportunities. So talk all about all that.
Okay, well, currently I'm a student at the University of Waterloo. So I'm studying environment resources and sustainability and minoring in entrepreneurship. And that specifically came from a class that I took in my second year of school, which was social entrepreneurship, which is how I got the idea for what I should do with Planted. I was really interested in Dragon's Den and Shark Tank growing up, and I always wanted to start something because my dad used to tell me, that's the way to make money in this country, you need to start your own business. So I don't know, I took a few classes on entrepreneurship and I realized that I'd like to be my own boss and not fit into this like corporate world that we have going on. But starting at school, I was looking for role models to kind of figure out who I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. I chose this major specifically because I wanted a good background in something meaningful, and sustainability was right up my alley because I was born and raised in Vancouver. So I wanted to do something that gave back to my community, and with that being taking care of the environment because Vancouver is so beautiful and so biodiverse, and I wanted to protect that. So I actually followed the journey of who I now is one of my really good friends, but her name is Jenna Phillips, and she's a very amazing environmental activist. And I joined this program, started working in my school within the social impact space because of her. I was really inspired by her. And I don't know, it was definitely like a fate sort of situation. I saw a picture of her in the Waterloo brochure when I was applying. Yeah. And I saw a quote that she had said about how much she loved her program, did the application, and I got in. And then I tried to befriend her when I started school. And she was selected as the University Sustainability Commissioner, which is the highest position any student can have in a sustainability role on campus. So I was like, I need to be that girl. And by the end of my first year, I had the job. And so just continued from there. I just kept following in her footsteps and met a bunch of other change makers. But I didn't know that that's what I was until I came across Fuel on LinkedIn. So I'm a very avid LinkedIn user, but I saw Erica, she was doing a bunch of interviews to see how she could support young change makers. And I walked into the interview saying, I don't think I'm a change maker, but I'm a person who cares. And I wanted to give her my input on how I could help support other change makers or how I could potentially become one. And that's how I got involved with Fuel. And yeah, that's kind of how I got here. I did it by accident, and I started Planted by accident. It was just a product of a class that I was in, and I didn't really know it was what it was until somebody said, hey, you know, that's a business, right? And I was like, oh, really? And I started it.
That's so interesting because, again, like I hear this conversation a lot, obviously working with other change makers too, like this idea that a lot of young change makers don't necessarily see themselves as that until there's a moment. Yeah. And there's a moment where someone maybe tells them that or be like, no, you are. And then there's like a switch in their head. Then they're like, no, I am. And then that kind of changes the trajectory of the work they do, identifying with the term of a change maker. Is that kind of like what it felt like for you? Like, what do you still struggle with that title? How does it, what does it feel like to be called that and to do that work?
I think so. I think I'm scared of it because it holds a lot of power and a lot of meaning to a lot of people. I always saw, again, on LinkedIn, people call themselves entrepreneurs or founders or whatever else. And I didn't feel like I could just like take that title. I think in my head I wanted to earn that. And the first time someone acknowledged me as a change maker was when I got onto the youth advisory committee here. And I was like, wait, is that what I am? Is that a title for me? I even struggled to call myself an activist or whatever else, even though I was doing so much work in that space. I don't know. It's just, I always just did it because I liked it, not because I was trying to make a profession out of it or was trying to get something out of it. It was just a part of my identity. And when someone named me as one, I was like, oh, maybe I am.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to accept that. I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm trying to accept that is something I can say.
And thank you for being honest with that, because I think that's kind of the main reason why I'm so happy that you are part of the Youth Advisory Committee, because you are honest about the journey of a change maker and how many times you kind of doubt that that's a title that you maybe deserve or have earned, right? And so I think being around a community of other young change makers who also may still struggle with that can help. Kind of people in the same thing. So tell me more about that. What's your experience working with Fuel as the Youth Advisory Committee member, but just Fuel in general? How do they work with you? What do you feel about them? Yeah.
So after doing that interview with Erica and just giving some feedback, I decided to come to one of the breaking breads that happened because I guess I just got emailed. I was on the list and they were like, hey, I don't know who it was, but someone said, hey, come pull up. And then when I went, I was so amazed by how nice everyone was and welcoming. And I think Monique was really the person who immediately acknowledged that I was bringing something to the space and contributing. Obviously you were there, you were so friendly. But I remember just reflecting for a long time what Monique said during her workshop, during the session. And I was like, wow, I don't know, something about it just hit me. I was like, that was just so insightful. Maybe I am bringing meaningful contributions to different spaces. So when I saw the Youth Advisory Committee open up, I was like, I need to be there. I need to be part of that because I have so many ideas and I just don't know where to channel this energy. But I wanted it to go to an organization that cared about me and cared about me being there. And Fuel's the only place that I've ever felt that. I've ever felt like someone wanted to hear what I had to say and they would welcome it regardless of how crazy or how eccentric I was. They just let me be. And I think that's why I decided to be here. That's why I continue to be here always and engage with all of our projects. And then meeting everyone on the team, they're all so diverse. You can tell it was just hand-picked, this person would complement this person and they would get along. And I don't know, it just feels so magical. I don't know how else to describe it.
Thank you. I think that's a great way to say it. I curated the YAC, by the way, so that magic, that alchemy that we saw was I'm just joking. I'm half joking. Okay, so a couple more questions for you. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Are you still overwhelmed?
No, I'm not overwhelmed by you ever. No, it was just life.
yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a lot to be overwhelmed about.
Sure.
And so that kind of leads into my next question. So there's a young change maker out there involved in climate justice, involved in climate sustainability, and they themselves are also overwhelmed with the kind of rhetoric of the lack of hope, the dystopian language that we use about the future. And obviously in many ways that's true and realistic. But what is your advice to them to continue on this work, knowing that it is maybe a lifetime journey and an uphill battle a lot of the time? What do you tell that person?
The time's going to pass anyways. I mean, if you want to have an impact and a meaningful impact and you want to help people and support people, then just do it. If you're tired, if you are burnt out, take a break, and you absolutely deserve to take breaks. I don't think it's possible to help people while you are the person needing help. I feel like if you're spending so much time and energy to help support someone else, chances are you're not having as big of an impact as you would if you just took some time off, take a little bit of rest, and then get back to that. The problems are always going to be there, but if you take some rest and you come back with a bigger hammer, you can hit it 10 times harder, right? So
a bigger hammer, take a break. I love that. And I don't know why I felt such almost comfort in the idea that the problem will always be there. And I think that's maybe not something that should like comfort me really, but at the same time, there is a level of like, yeah, like the work will be there.
Yeah.
What you want to fight and fix will be there. So take the break so you can come at that work with, the best version of yourself.
Yeah, I also think that in the social impact space, collective action is so important. Like, even though you can have a tremendous impact as just one person, the idea should be that we build community and use community in order to fight the problems, not just everyone retreat their own corner, start their own organizations, do their own thing, and try to figure it out by themselves. I don't think that's productive or meaningful. So,
yeah, agreed. A couple more things. We're headed to the end of the interview. It blew by, but again, you've already offered so much. Being the founder of Planted Opportunities, you said that, you sometimes even struggle with calling yourself that or whatever, but you are that. And so how do you deal with those moments of like the imposter syndrome or the title of founder and the title of, Changemaker? What do you do to maybe get yourself out of those places of self-doubt?
I think I lean back on the team a lot. So a couple weeks ago, I spoke to my first investor ever, and it went horribly. Let me just say that. It went awful.
Okay.
But I left that conversation feeling really disappointed that a person didn't believe in the vision that I had for the organization. And we had an executive team meeting that evening. And I was so prepared to just cancel it and just say F it. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Because she really made me doubt my idea and my plans and everything that I had worked so hard to build. And she told me flat to my face that I should quit while I'm ahead because this is a waste of time.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But when I went to the team meeting, I scrapped all the notes that I had for what I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to do. And I asked everyone to help me build a vision board for what we hope that Planted will be. And I wish you were there to experience that moment where we all just came together and we created this beautiful thing. Everyone added all of these positive affirmations and different images of things that they wanted. And there was one picture in particular that said influential CEO as something that someone thought of me. And I don't know, I go back to my community and I lean on them for support and encouragement. And that's how I get over it. I'm like, okay, these people believe in me. And if my closest friends and my closest circle is constantly cheering me up and trying to make me feel better about myself and the work that I'm doing, then why should I believe some random girl with just a wallet to offer?
Yeah, take that. Right? But also if you're someone else with a wallet that does believe in this, please have the conversation with Shreya. But that person with the wallet that was very mean, frankly, go watch myself. Yeah, go do something to fix that bad part of you. That's the best way I could say it. Yeah. Thank you. And that's so important. Again, you're really touching some notes of what we're trying to do at Fuel of adapting more hope-based language, using community to deal with those moments. And then, but also just understanding how much work it does take to be hopeful and how much there are actual processes in place to do that.
Yeah.
And you're doing it, falling back into your community, making vision boards, which I'm sure was so great and inspiring, especially after a real shitty conversation.
Yeah.
And so that makes a lot of sense. I feel like I'm so grateful to catch you on this part of your journey because it's still so fresh. Planted Opportunities is so new. It's not even yeah, right? And that's what I feel like you've been doing. And I think watching you at this stage, I'm really honored to have you a part of the YSC, but also to have you working with Fuel at this stage of your journey, because one day you will turn into the influential CEO that people see you as, and then I expect your wallet to then be open to other things that Fuel's doing.
Yeah, I'll be an angel investor myself, and then
yeah. It's been recorded. So I hope you,
no, and I hope you hold me to it.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I want. I only want the success so I can help uplift others. I think, and I've always said that from the beginning. Everything was accidental. Becoming a change maker, starting this business and creating this startup, everything happened by accident. But from the get-go, when I started studying, when I started working, I always said, I just want to give back to the people who have supported me this entire process. And Fuel is a big part of that.
Thank you very much, Shreya. And you are giving back, whether it's being part of the YSC, whether it's being part of Fuel, or whether it's the beautiful work you do in all of the different environments that you're in. You're doing it. And so I hope, keep doing it. Thank you so much for sitting down for another YSC edition. Now, the last thing we'll do, can you look at the camera right there and promote your stuff? Tell them about what you're doing, where to find you, all that.
Okay, well, thank you so much for the opportunity, first of all. But essentially what I'm building at Planted is we're creating a website that populates different opportunities in the social impact space so that youth have it more accessible to them and they can learn how to become a change maker in a step-by-step process and find resources and mentors and friends who are in this space that want to support them and build community just like all of us are. So that's Planted, and you can find me at Shreya J. Rao on Instagram and every other socials, and at Planted Opportunities on Instagram as well. So
thank you, Shreya. And that's a wrap. Thank you. Well done. Smooth. Why were you even? You're not. You got this.
I love the camera.
Yeah. Okay. And it loves you. It's very clear. Thank you very much, Shreya.